Oh, welcome to another edition of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse, Summer of Sleaze edition here. A couple people have been asking about what's the status on the book. The book is being printed as we speak. The company is out in Oklahoma. I ordered 100 copies to start with. And I would have ordered more, except that I'm sort of like in a financial bind due to vet bills and other shit going on. So there'll be more. Like I said, I'm starting with 100, and then going from there. As I sell them, I'll replenish them. Or even if I sell 100, I don't even fucking know at this point. But anyway, let's take us back to 1979. How about a mercenary film by Joe D'Amato called Tough to Kill? Actually, it should be titled Tough to Watch, because it's kind of all over the road, and it's kind of a rip-off because the DVD cover, the one sheet, had people like Tony King that weren't in the movie. So that's kind of weird. But the whole premise is that there's a mercenary that is worth $1 million bounty because of murders he's done. And a hitman wants a piece of this whole thing. So he joins the mercenary group where this guy is, and the colonel of this mercenary group is none other than Dr. Butcher, Donald O'Brien. The other named star is Luck Miranda, the hitman. So there's nobody else you'll recognize. You probably recognize faces. I don't know names and shit like that are in this, but you sort of recognize faces. And this thing, you would think with the motto, would be a little bit more action-packed and gory. It's really not. It starts off with this whole, the guy becoming, joining the mercenaries and having to train. And then the colonel has this trick to prove the courage of people, where he basically gets into this little circle that's walled off, maybe 3 feet high, and you stand in front of him and he drops a live hand grenade in front of you, and the first guy to bail is basically a chicken. So that whole training deal takes up a good part of the film, until they decide to do their job. 20 of them go into basically, it's like a suicide mission, but if you live, you'll make a lot of money type of shit. That's why I said it's meandering all over the place. And there's this character played by Percy Hogan called Wabu, this simple black guy, who basically, in probably the most gross scene in the whole movie, is there's like barrels of human poop, and the psycho mercenary makes the guy get into the barrel and then says, if you don't duck your head under it, I'm going to cut it off, and swings with the machete. So poor Wabu was traumatized by this whole thing, but that doesn't stop him from following the group. And when this hitman exposes what he wants to do, a couple of the mercenaries and the colonel are really down for it, because, hey, why not split $1 million 4 ways? So they let all their buddies get sacrificed in this battle that you hardly see any of. And they basically drag this guy out and take him with it. So now they're sort of like, there's 4 of them. There's this one guy, I don't know what he is. He basically admits that he was going to kill all 3 of them and take the money. And there's another guy, and it seems like in every mercenary film, there's some guy known as the Pollock, and he has a rabbit. So there's sort of this forced march thing with the 5 of them, plus Wabu. And they're running out of food, so this, the bad mercenary suggests they cook the Pollock's rabbit. He has a pet rabbit. So they cook the rabbit, and the Pollock insists that this guy eat it because he loaded it with cyanide, and that basically kills him. So now it's sort of like the 4 are pissed off because they basically have to drag the body with them. Well, they run into another mercenary group, and one of the guys gets wounded, and he basically is the one who admits that he would basically kill the 3 of them and take the money. So he decides to sit back and hold off the others while they take off. So they're dragging the body, and finally somebody gets the bright idea, and why they didn't get this before is, all we need is his head to identify him, so they chop off his head and put it in a bag. So the colonel and the Pollock have some kind of K to K, and the Colonel kills the Pollock, leaving only the Colonel and the Hitman, who basically, by the end of the film, square off and mortally wound each other. And that's when Wabu, who everybody felt sorry for, comes in and picks up the sack and says he'll cash in the head to the dying Hitman. So then you just think it's over, but then it flashes to another scene where Waba's out there dressed to the nines with a hot lady on his arm and getting into a really spiffy car and driving off, marking the end of the movie and the end of my torment. So, yeah, it wasn't that good. I don't even know if it's available. I had seen it as a co-feature or something back in the day and found a shitty DVD of it just to further aggravate my eyeballs and my mind some more. So, yeah, it's just one of those films. Like, D'Amato was sort of like an everyman. He tried to direct just about everything. I think he did another mercenary film too, but this one kind of falls flat. And like I said, the one-sheet poster and the DVD have Tony King on it, who wasn't in the movie, and I think somebody else, I can't remember his name, but they weren't in the movie. So, you know, viewer's choice. You may want to see it, you may not. But anyway, that's our show for today. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. And we will catch you on the flip side.